line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Oh, it's racing.
Last night we were running it down in the dirt and down and dirty, and tonight we're running it back on the clean pavement asphalt side of things. We are here now live at Fontana, California. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Auto Club Speedway, and presenting to you tonight, it is the Green Mountain Girls Fast and Front Truck Series live here and on the show here at Pizza Race TV. I am the Crusader Christian Shriver. We welcome you back to the show, and we are ready to settle things down and get things real wrapped up into the playoff picture as the championships are getting closely decided. The hunt for the playoffs is coming very, very soon. But for tonight, these drivers are going to be put to their absolute limit and tested under some extreme circumstances, because this 2-mile-long track is all about those high banks, high end, high risk, high reward areas, as much as it is trying to stay away from burning tires up and getting yourself into major complications. This will certainly sell the tail and settle some scores. Let's take a look at our starting lineup here tonight. On the pole, it says Andy Pham. Craig Janzik in the 40 is outside. It'll be the A2, Brock Whitehead. Number 2, Richard Fortshell. Pilots, the number 90 is outside. Nathan Meyer will be in that number 1. Number 3, it's James Lemurona Harrison. The 4 is outside. The Mullen Man, Robert Lawrence in the 5. Row 4 sees the 53 of Christian Wilcox is outside. The 14, the man, Dan Starner. Row 5 sees George Young in the 48. That's outside. That will be Kevin Couture in the 91. Row number 6, that's going to be piloted. That'll be piloted by Dakota Wilson, the 52, and is outside. Triple Tray, he came to play Whitehead in that 33. Row number 7. Supposed to be Whitehead in the 33, and is outside Caleb Forsythe in the 76. Row number 8 will then be John the Attacker Conlismeyer Thacker in the 56, outside Gar Snyder in the 88. Row 9 sees Russell Fullmore Kilgore in the 2 is outside. That'll be the 23, Joshua Caudill. Row number 10, that'll be Jacob Gibbons in the 20 is outside. Jonathan the Diamondback Diamond, that 39. Row number 11, Jason Taylor in the 15 was outside, being the 22. That is Steve Clegg. Row number 12 is Daniel Half in the 32 is outside. That's the 8 of Sheldon Pearson. Next row on back, we'll see row number 13. It's the Man Beast, William A. Jr. in the 29 is outside. Charles Whitehead in the 51. Row 14 sees Stephen Pless in the 69 is outside. Adam Scrum the 95. Row 15, Eli the Wild Child the 9 running the race control. Robert Wynn the 16 piloting it up with Robert Wynn Jr. behind him. Old Man and Jr. will be in this one to the end of the start. We'll bring him off a turn 4 this time with a pace truck coming off here to set the tone. These drivers are ready to go, ready to hammer off here at Fontana, California. Well, our friends here from Portland, Oregon, of Sean Cole and the Papa Beast himself, William Mann, down in North Carolina, join us in. It's time to get to the action. We're ready to go racing here now on the front stretch. We fire him off on the start. And Janzik right out of the gate probably saw kind of the writing on the wall, decides to go to the bottom end and not get into the mess there out of the start. Looking for an opening, sneak his way back on in. Richard Fortshell with a hard charge up on the inside, down back to the top side he goes. A little bit of that pushing and drafting and shoving and hanging here to help everyone out. Every single one of these drivers trying to find a way around the track in their own little variety. Whoa, some maybe more so than others. Kevin Kashur trying to save that 91 machine, the Champ Power Equipment machine, all over the place. He'll bring it back to a rest here off of core 4 there. Unfortunately, gets it right into the pit side end. Found himself in a bit of a bad spot, had nowhere to go, has to go to pit road, and he'll have to get himself cleaned up. If he has any chance of winning this one out, he's going to have a lot of work to do. Coming around down the back straightaway, you may notice also some schemes out there that do not look like our usual schemes. No, we're bringing the 80s back, my friends. We're bringing back that disco dancing, lights and all. With some of these guys taking the 80s a little bit more seriously than others, I suppose. James Marauder Harris right now trying to man up and get up to the Zanny fan, Craig Janzik. As Janzik holds the lead for the right now anyway, but the Marauder is pulling up close, pulling it in quickly. Those two have been at odds and at war with one another quite a bit this season here. Janzik getting the better of the 4 here or there. But Janzik tonight knows the Marauder is out for some cold, hard racing action, and he loves nothing more than to put up a fight here as he tries to bring the 80s back and literally bring back the speeds they carried down those days of NASCAR racing. Speaking of putting up some NASCAR racing moments here, you can see the DuPont number 1 of Mr. Nathan Meyer hanging in there a little bit, kind of getting some jumps off in the end as you see the 35 tire meets set straight into the wall protection. He'll get put back a little bit here and have to work his way back to the fight. Kind of stuck in that pack here with that 3 wide slip between him and the mullet man Robert Lawrence, the only fans they should say as well. A lot of guys trying to find openings in the can. A lot of them trying to find areas to really strike a chord or strike some momentum where they can get it to. The one thing we can say here tonight though is it's all about just making sure you watch every spot, every turn, and don't over ramp or over accelerate, because this track can take over the speed and the control and distances you carry, especially when you're stuck in that kind of pack race situation here. Off of corner number 4, they are all still packed tight together here as they come through the front straightaway down through to turn number 1. Every driver for themselves, nobody going to give an inch here as you see a Valley 88 style Garth Snyder here tonight. Looks like he decided to take the Fox Racing scheme out here and actually go up and do something a little different. Not a bad looking ride by any means here, and certainly not something not too horrible to really kind of engage with or use, I will say. 48 at George Young right now, trying to represent the NPR boys, and I believe his Ozzy Osbourne scheme he's got going on there. Oh, he's really bringing the 80s back if he got an Ozzy scheme on that thing. I think he might be actually playing a little bit of some Ozzy Osbourne right now, because I think he's playing the song I Don't Want to Stop under that hood. He's been known to really pilot and push everything he's got to its fullest limits and fullest potentials, and he's certainly doing that and then some here tonight. The night lights of Fontana, California's Auto Club Speedway going to be put into good use here in just a little while, because right at the moment we are getting one step closer to the darkness in the sky and darkening all around us. We started here on the sunset evening here, beautiful skies and practice zone here, but now letting everyone get out on the track and race their tails off to see who was going to be the better or the biggest and the brightest in this case. Triple Trey came to play Whitehead here in the 33 Buffalo Springs machine, looking to make another battle here amongst the top of the battles and top of the drivers. He's very close to staying in that playoff contention and maybe even going for his very first career championship season. But he is going to need to do a lot more than what he's doing right now to start pushing his way through. And he may be listening a little bit because he is starting to get a runoff here on George Young. Starting to get that bumper put into the rear end of his, making him thinking about it just ever so slightly. Emily Wilson coming on board here tonight. She's joining in, rooting off for the number 52, Old Dakota Wilson. We'll take a look back here as we saw the Marauder, James Harrison battling out. Right now, Dakota currently in that 52, piloting the Goonies machine tonight. I think he's trying to stay away from doing too many truffle shuffles out here and he's trying to find that big treasure that lies within the cave. He's gonna have a lot of work though to get through this cave because right now it's a bit of a puzzle piece to really put everything into place. Trying to fight it out here while the guys up ahead of him keep their distance, keep their shelf and playing field position known. The Man Beast, William Mann Jr. really bringing that MTV vibes back as well on this track. Definitely, gotta bet it's pretty cool to see it. Even the Hardy scheme getting put out here by Charles Whitehead. I still remember when they had that old Hardy scheme out on our usual tarmacs and all the stuff we have at the airport. I remember seeing all that stuff back when I was traveling to my work. Nowadays, it looks all just kind of generic, kind of like the McDonald's fonts, if you ask me. All depends on your style and preference, I guess, but hey, at the end of the day, it is 80s night, so might as well bring the schemes out and really showcase what you got. So far, so good, too, really. It's been a pretty clean cut race here, and no one getting into too many messes. I think drivers are very well aware that setup they're running on right now is about as easy to get loose and get tight off of as it is to make a big mistake and not realize you've done it till it's too little too late. Let me tell you something, folks. I was down there earlier and I practiced with the setup just a little bit while these guys were kind of working things around, and I can tell you, right out of the gate, it is extremely loose. Like, you cannot for the life of you start to even fathom or even question the driving in hard or driving in too much. You need to be very controlled and more rhythmic with the start of it. As the truck starts to break down, though, and the track starts to kind of give you a little bit of an opening, that's when you can start making moves and you can really start making some charges in there. But again, extremely difficult to do when you have so many things going on in your mind, and also with drivers kind of battling you out in positions. And speaking of battling out in positions, I am trying for the life of me figure out what kind of design and thought process John Thacker came up with when he did this. Like, he's got the retro 80s style look for sure, but what is going on with that 56 number scheme there? He literally looks like he just spray painted it on the side of his car the same way I would if we were still back in my local tracks here, the figure 8 tracks, and just pretty much had nothing but a white can of spray paint and had a beat up car. I had to make sure that you could still at least see the number for the announcers as well as the fans. That's literally the best way I can explain how that truck looks and how it is in general. I really don't know what else to say to that. Firing him down right now here at Triple Trade. Keen Play Whitehead going to have a little bit of fun here right at that 35 of Tyler Meeks, while Nathan Meyer, the number 1, tries to hold back as well. The way these trucks are kind of set up and the way they're kind of been built upon, they're actually more of a plate track style kind of run where you can really kind of hit your throttle more often than not. You don't have a lot of downtime in the speeds, but there is one big crucial factor that really kind of separates this one out versus the usual 1.5 miles and the other 2 mile long track known as Michigan Air Speedway, is that this track actually really has to test and really bring out the best of patience in your level of playing field and your level of control. You don't want to overdo each corner. You don't want to overdo each runoff on the straightaways. The tires have a tendency to burn up quickly because of that heat from the Fontana end of California, as much as it also does with the way that embankments is. So you add in heat, embankment, as well as just really a tire that doesn't have a whole lot of grip to it because you're trying to get some speed off it. And you got a recipe that's desiring for anyone that wants to dare test that kind of level of patience. And speaking of testing a level of patience, apparently the Barrar wants to test his anti-fam's patience just a little bit, as you see Brock Whitehead kind of sneaking right behind him. Brock Whitehead right now still searching for a second career win. He's been so close before so many times off to the nut, just has not been able to knock off that darn Grishcraft Gremlin. That darn gremlin on his back seems like every time he always has like either a monkey or a gremlin on his back because it just seems like whatever you get figured out, got it all taken care of, it just completely reverses and backfires on him, and then he has nothing he can do about it. Coming down the lines right now, Fields trying to pace his way in. Richard Fornshell, one of the faster guys in qualifying. He was piloting into the top 3, but in the actual practice itself, he actually had a top spot in that end. He was the #1 seed. Going in from there, came out with a 3rd place in qualifying. He certainly is proving tonight that he can hang with these guys, and he does actually have quite a few good finishes here on Pete's Race TV with these trucks today, so we know he can get it done. Not to mention also the fact that he is also one of the only drivers that carries the elusive Oval Riley Challenge championship. He's actually got a win. He's got a championship there, and he actually had quite a few close counters and close calls throughout his season, throughout his racing ventures. Some of those actual Riley Challenge races you might have noticed actually got put on by actual iRacing themselves, so big thank you to them for actually sharing that one stream around with that extremely close finish by only a 10,000th of a second difference between, of course, who else but Jantic and even Dan the Man Starner. As Jantic right now currently is going to have a little bit of company here with that number 34. The Mullet Man is trying to put some OnlyFans to good use and trying to make everything work around to his favor. Little tag there from Jantic, though, kind of making him think about that one. Might be trying to get him to question whether or not that was exactly a good idea to make him think that was a good area that he could play it off at and really run off from. Extremely difficult to kind of keep in distance and keep yourself under control with that kind of level of momentum and power you have under that hood. Every single driver doing what they can, though, just to hold on for dear life, trying to hold on to that draft, hold on to that gap. And the zones obviously really make for a more difficult time. Because every time you go out on that track, man, it just seems like you're on a different course, different field, different playing field comparatively when you go through the rest of the race. And the biggest thing, too, really, as I talked earlier about this, but here's a bigger thing, too, to really think about for a second. When you're racing out here on a track that's been known to burn up tires and really tear up some equipment, while the track is hot, obviously, on the surface itself, when it does cool down over time, which it really does when it gets to that nighttime level, it actually makes it to be a little bit stickier, a little bit looser. So those drivers that are well aware of how to handle that kind of momentum, handle that control, they actually can get a lot better and a lot more clever on racing out on the track zone-wise. They've been a little bit more known to get into that position, into that runoff, whereas some folks may not be able to do that as well. It's going to be interesting to see really how long and how far they can get played into this and really work their way around, considering all that they're fighting and all that is up for grabs. Remember, a playoff hope and dream could be on the line for one of these drivers. It could be on the line for many of these drivers here. All really depends on your control, your consistency, and how well can you manage the track down and how well can you manage the field in. Guys in the back right now, looks like I'm starting to study this a little bit, maybe trying to look at the very, very long run, long-term situation here. Remember, back here at Auto Club Speedway, we had a race actually that went at extreme full distance and about the same kind of length we're going at right now. And it wasn't until like the last 10 laps we really started to notice something, which was those that stayed out were not burning the tires up or not using that much fuel, and they were actually the ones that were actually defeating out the guys that were the fastest or the toughest out there. So guys like Robert the Mully Man Lawrence and them, they may actually need to kind of watch themselves and pimple themselves, because with that pit strategy, that could be the difference maker between actually success or failure here. But as I say that, of course, that Zanny Fam and the Mullet Man don't exactly have to agreement terms. They were like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? We're not going to back off or nothing. We're going to put on a fight here. Well, put on a fight they will, and they are literally just about halfway ready to finish this one out. Robert Lawrence still looking for some kind of opening, some kind of grip to get around Jantic here. Jantic kind of blocking him off there on the outside. You see that top shelf being put to good use, and everyone using every ounce of that track and every ounce of the area they can get. There's not a whole lot of drivers trying to go straight to the bottom end or really use that up, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that if you go to that bottom too little too quick or anything like that, you'll end up burning up more tires, and it's really worth here. It is a good slider end, though, I will say that. That's one thing I love about Auto Club is you can throw some haymakers down on that bottom to that top side. Lawrence trying to make everything work and trying to keep Jantic in his place and keep him in control. But the Zany fam just refusing to give up and give out. But what's it real close though with that Blaster Master of the 34, the Caddyshack, managing to stay out of the way and stay out of problematic territory. But that could have been a gnarly little hit there and a little bit of a bad spot to really have to fight around if he knew what was coming next. Look at this now, another little possible 3 wide salute scenario being put up for grabs. Triple tray, can't play Whitehead, putting it right back into the end with the 53 of Wilcox says Jantic and Lawrence. I don't think Jantic realized that if he keeps swinging that thing up and down like that, he's going to burn more tires up doing that necessarily. He just wants that 5 away from, he just wants that 34 away from him. That's all he really cares about. To be honest, I don't even think he realized like how much work he is putting using that kind of momentum, using kind of runoff with the way everyone else is being right now. I think he might want to be a little bit careful here because that could be a dangerous situation. Daniel Half right now, the number 32 driver, going into a bit of a middle of the gap, looking for shoot the gaps here of the 89 of Robert Wynn Jr. as well as Stephen Plesser and the Lemonade stand 69. And as I'm still being told as well from Eli the Wild Child that I'm not allowed to have my lemonade still, or my vodka lemonades, because I was in trouble for earlier, but that's beyond the point, beyond taking here. Caution is out. Not sure where the caution is getting thrown at here. May have been on Caleb Forsythe, hard to really tell. No word on the command here, so I think we may have to call that one a not so sure situation here. But race fans, when we come back here on Pete's Race TV, there's more action to be had. There is still plenty of racing to be done. These drivers are nowhere near finished with this race. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you in part by our good friends over at Green Mountain Grills. When you guys need the best wood-fired pellet grills on the market, there is only one branded name that we find that we trust in, and that is, of course, with the Green Mountain Grills crew. Be sure to check them out on their website at greenmountaingrills.com. While also check out their local listings on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and see where you can find your next best grill for your next outing. All right, field right now getting settled back down. Everyone getting kind of calmed up a bit, kind of relaxed in. We'll go ahead and take some time to talk with some drivers. Now, I was told to not bring in anybody that's in the upper half, so if they're in that top half, I'm going to try to stay away from them here. I think we're going to start here maybe with that 15 Jason Taylor. We'll see if they go to pit road here or not. It looks like I think they will here. Nope, he will stay on out. Oh, nope, there they go. So he'll go to pit road. The rest of the field will follow in suit. Jantic is the front runner here. So once they come out of pit road, we'll go ahead and bring one of our drivers in. We'll see who it may be here. Remember our first caution of the day as well. Kind of surprising to say the least, considering earlier on everything was kind of more under control, more subdued, and more in relaxed and entwined. But now it seems like it's a bit of a mad rush, mad cow fiasco, just trying to figure out where to go and where to get some luck at from. Be interesting to see just kind of how everything plays out here as drivers get out of pit road quickly here. The Zanny fan will beat out Harris and Meyer. George Young will kind of put it back in the back here as well. And you can see the Mullen man, Robert Lawrence, gets sent back a few spots here. Gets back into 5th here because of that pit stop. Found himself in a bit of a bad spot, unfortunately, due to his unfortunate circumstance of moving it too far up forward. Well, let's take a listen in now and talk with the 15, Jason Taylor, now joining me on the call. Listen, Jason, right out of the gate, seemed like a bit of a long distance run here on a truck that really kind of has a lot of things going on with it tonight at the Auto Club, doesn't it?
Yeah, extremely loose the first couple of laps, and then there at the end, I was just way too tight. Really hard to make up ground. Everybody kind of seems to be really even on speed tonight, so I was kind of hoping to pull a little pit strategy there and get in a lap or two before everybody can get some laps on fresh tires, but the caution didn't help that.
So, with the way the strategy is kind of playing out, everything's kind of going forth here, what would you say it's going to take to kind of keep everything under control and under the wraps here?
Well, I got to do a better job of saving that right front here. I burned it up that time, so a little more patient, and then that way, if we go long again, I got some tires left.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, though, we do appreciate your time here, Jason. We'll see what happens as we continue on with this race.
All right, y'all enjoy it.
From Shake and Bake Racing League, ladies and gentlemen, Jason Taylor in the number 15. We'll go ahead and bring him back to the field here, back to the starting lineup here. Alright. Driver's going to be put into the view here, put into the fight zone. And Janzik, Harris, Meyer, Whitehead will all be the guys to make pace and take aim. A lot of tough competitors here and a lot of guys and gals trying to really make a name for themselves in this case. How will they fare on the restart? Fire him down here off a corner number 4. Lay down the lumber, lay down the thunder. Let's get back to the action here in Fontana. It's back to the green flag. And the roar of the motors gets put into perspective. It gets put down on the track. Oh, and it's the same there at turn 2, unfortunately for Wilcox and Whitehead. Contact made there coming down out of turn number 2, and unfortunately both drivers just getting a little bit more aggressive for their own liking. Caution is back on out. Well, this time at least we do know we have a PT Mr. replay. Let's take a look at this one. This one looked like it could have been kind of an either way situation. You saw it on the live feed there, but here's what it looks like on the PTM Instant Replay Cam, brought to you by Green Mountain Grills. You can see Whitehead, actually both guys just getting loose on their own there. They had nowhere to go. Very good control though by both drivers, even the Blaster Master, number 34, the Mullen man, Robert Lawrence. Great track awareness by his end there to stay out of trouble. It's not exactly an easy spot to kind of stay away from or stay out of, and right there, man, he just kind of stayed calm, cool, and collected while everyone else didn't over accelerate, didn't get over jealous there. They just kind of let the truck kind of come their way and then brought it back around. Nicely done. Well, we talked with one of our boys here, and now let's bring in the guy that usually most people want me to bring in just because he's something else. So, and right now you're driving something else here tonight, Thacker. What the heck did you do with that number?
I moved it forward, man. That's what NASCAR wants, right?
You moved it forward, but you literally just put a can of spray paint on that thing and then called it good. Like, I know we're running the 80s schemes tonight, but like, man, you didn't have to actually drive the thing like it's an 80s car.
It's an underfunded team, so
What?
just make do with.
That,
There ain't no major sponsors on there.
yeah, you don't make a response on there, but that didn't mean you had to do it like that.
Ah, come on. Hey, did you take a picture in high school in front of a design like this that's on my truck? I know there's some 80 kids out there somewhere who has. Well, you're probably too young.
I was about to say, I'm a little bit young for that one, unfortunately.
Somewhere somebody has a high school photo in front of one of these blue laser signs.
Alright, fair
It was
enough
the
there.
80s. It was the 80s.
I was about to say, like, the way that thing looks, I mean, to me, it's designed more as if, you're chumming down from our local dirt tracks here, and literally all you had left was just a can of spray paint. Your car was already too damaged, but you needed to make sure the
Yeah.
announcers and the fans could see who you were.
That's it. I wanted y'all to know who I was. Can't do all this and not be called out for it. Spray painted the old 5.6 on there just for you.
Well, I appreciate it, Thacker, but nevertheless, man, you got a little bit of work to do and some time to be had, so best of luck.
All right, I appreciate it.
Representing Mid-Pack Racing, ladies and gentlemen, it's our old boy, the attacker of Golden Lives Matter, John Thacker. That dude, my friends, he is certainly something else. Well, we had a little friend pop in here earlier on with about our friend Mr. Dakota Wilson, so let's bring him in now, ladies and gentlemen. Dakota joins me here in the booth here in Dakota. Right now, got a good qualifying in starting 11th, but you're in the back of the outhouse. What's it going to take to get back to that White House?
Yeah, I don't know. I hit the apron with my left front there going into one on the first lap, and I had to chase the truck a little bit, and I just lost all my position. So I just been playing catch up ever since.
You certainly have indeed, but I mean, so far though, it looks like everything's been kind of smooth sailing, kind of under control since then. I mean, really, I have to ask you, what is it going to take here to kind of get yourself back into a possible position to really take charge and take aim? Because it seems like these guys are not going to give you much chances here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a better job at saving my tires. This thing, that first run, it chewed the right front off of it. I gotta feather it a little bit.
Fair enough there. Well, nevertheless, Dakota, you got some friends and family watching you on board here on Pete's Race TV, so best of luck here, man, and we'll catch you later.
Thank you.
From Southern Speed Motorsports, ladies and gentlemen, the number 52, Dakota Wilson. Hope you enjoyed hearing there, Emily. I don't know if you're still with us here on the show here, but thought it'd be nice to give you a little something for at least coming on board here with us tonight. Drivers getting right back around, settled back down into the track zone, and we're getting ready to field this one in. A lot of drivers right now trying to get the better of themselves and the other, but only one can remain on top and become the winner here tonight. Off of corner number 4, down to the front straight away we go. It's time to bring the green flag back on out. It's time to get things a little more wild here on Pete's Race TV. Approaching halfway point now, and currently, yet again, it is the Zanny Fam Janzik and his teammate Nathan Meyer now looking to make aim and take shape. The Oval Sim Performance crew really got a lot of guys under their roster and under their banner, looking to make it big and make it strong here. Guys like Charles Whitehead, of course, Garth Snyder, Joshua Caudill, Stephen Pless, Nathan Meyer, Greg Janzik, and even Tyler Meeks, all part of that group. And Meeks right now with his crew and his team. You got 3 drivers, same crew and same members, all working together here as the Marauder James Harris, the only one representing tonight for another subsection of his end. He's trying to bring 3 Wide Motorsports into the pack and into the fight. John Thacker, much of the same here. We're trying to rock it out for the NPR boys as his teammate Russ the Full Bore Kilgore up 10 tonight. He's a hard charger, but not the ultimate hard charger. We must give that honor distinction to the Wynn family, Robert Wynn and Jr., because they are literally 12 spots up and making a quick aim for the top. Speaking of running the top side, a lot of drivers now going up that top end looking to stay out of trouble and stay more in a proverbial concise situation. Biggest thing here, of course, is just really staying out of the problematic territory, staying under control. Don't let things get too crazy. Don't let things get too rambunctious. You just got to stay focused. If you let things get to you too quickly or things get too out of hand, that's one way to literally have this race come up in flames. And believe me when I say it, absolutely nobody wants to see that. We want to see the closest hardcore racing, hardest of battles and fights out on the track. That's what it's all about here on this show. Wilson looks like he might be coming something up here. He's now leaning it right up against there with the number 20 Transformers machine. It's Jacob Gibbons in that Chevrolet Silverado, trying to hammer off and trying to make the Wynn family think about this one just a little bit more here, as he is currently right on their tail end and pushing everything he's got to good use. There are absolutely no gimmies on these tracks and no gimmies here in this field. If you win this race, you have certainly done more so than earned it. You have literally brought the best and the brightest on the track and in the field for a solid performance and victory. But again, it's one thing to be able to hang with the crew. It's another to try to make them asses. Watch out for Meyer here. Going to sneak his way down the inside. They may be teammates, but that doesn't mean they won't race hard enough. Bringing it down low. He says, hey boys, let's see where this one can go. And the Meyer camp now has got the race lead. If you had told me he was related to Michael Myers, I would have believed you, because he literally snuck through that line so quickly, he literally was undetected. Janzik didn't even realize what to do till it was too little too late. And now here we go, 3 wide slip right off of corner number 2. The battle for second raging on here between Meeks, Harris, and Janzik. Meeks trying to work with his team, trying to help out in whatever way he can. He knows that draft is pretty much kind of a saving grace, kind of a big pinnacle here for everyone to work off of. Anytime you can stay away from that madness and stay out of trouble, the better off you are. And they know all too well here. They're in a bit of a bad spot, bit of a bad slump. There are multiple angles and multiple ways this could go very, very wrong. Coming right down around Nathan Meyer, your race leader here, as currently now even Richard Fornshell kind of making a little bit of an obtuse maneuver, getting some speed in between. Looking for an opening here. Here comes Carl Snyder down the inside. Hard charging his way. 8 spots up here tonight. It is in his number. He's got 8. Well, he's going to put another 8 along the side of the board. Puts it up there with Fornshell. Fornshell trying not to get into a pro mag zone here. Oh, that's not going to help him though at all. Coming out of turn 1. Swings it straight right, got a little tag there and a half, and the truck gets completely nullified and sent to the lower levels of this field and this pack, and that's not where you want to be on this kind of track. Caution flag flies on out though. Looks like he'll get another chance to really fight it out with these drivers and give himself an opportunity to work around this situation. We'll have about 30 laps remaining by the time they come around this go, but let's take a look at the PTM Instant Replay here. The PTM Instant Replay tells all, it shows all, and it knows all. Here's what happened. Came right around here out of corner number 1 here, and you can see the Mullen Man, him just kind of collecting into one another. Looked like Snyder might have rose up a little bit at Lawrence. Hard to really tell from that angle, but from our end, it looked like it could have gone either way. Well, because he's in the back of the pack now, and I can't really get yelled at for it, let's bring in old Brockhead now. Here he is, Brock Whitehead joining me in here, and Brock, man, maybe not the best start you were looking for on that last go, but it seems like since then you've at least been kind of able to hang in there with these guys.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back up to the front after that synchronized spin with Will Cox, and I don't even know who else spun, but yeah, it was fresh tires. They really don't like the bottom on the start, so I think we're gonna run the top this time on the start. If we go in for tires, it looks like we are, and yeah, we're just gonna try and get back up there and try and at least get a top 10
Now, I'm going to ask this real quick here. Is there maybe a reason why it's having so much trouble on the bottom? Is it because the truck is just not set up for that, or the track is a little slicked up?
The setup is real loose on the start. No matter really where you run, seems a little bit more comfortable on the top. Still pretty loose though, so I don't know.
Well, we'll let you get that figured out and see what you can come up with here, but nevertheless, appreciate your time here, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Starting Speed Motorsports, ladies and gentlemen, Brock Whitehead in the 82, looking to try to get things figured out. Race fans, when we come back, we're past halfway. Things are just heating up around here, and things could get a little hotter here under the California sun. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you in part by our good friends over at Green Mountain Grills. If you guys need the best wood-fired pellet grills on the market, there is only one brand name that we trust, and that is with the Green Mountain Grills crew. Be sure to check them out on their social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, as well as check out their local listings on their website at greenmountaingrills.com. Time to go and listen in with some other guys here and see how they're holding up on the track. Some guys we usually don't hear too often from, like the number 95, Adam Strom joins us in here. And Adam, great to have you back on here on Pete's Race TV. And you had a little bit of a rough end on qualifying, but you're at least moving up somewhat in the field. Got 4 spots up, and a new set of tires, maybe a new set of life here for you and the crew.
Yeah, man, just real rough qualifying effort there. Kind of lost it coming out of turn 4 on my first lap, and just really screwed up my second. Started in the back of the field and just kind of burned up my tires there the first run. So hopefully these 2 quick cautions here, nice set of tires under me, keep picking my way through.
For sure there. Now, I have to ask you, with the fresh set of tires, we heard from one of our other guys here a minute ago that these things, when they run on the bottom or they run on the start, they are extremely tough to handle, and I know all too well they're also a little bit loose to gain, but maybe you can explain to the viewers at home just why they are so tough to really grab when they're on the fresh set.
I think it just takes a while for the temperatures to come up in them, and just got to be a little bit ginger with them. Luckily, I'm starting on the outside here, so should be right where I want to be. Just kind of watch out for the cars down at the bottom, make sure they're not overdriving.
Well, we certainly can see that happening, and certainly see all the action going to come up here in a minute. But Adam, we appreciate you tuning on board, bud. Thank you for the little help for the fans, and we'll see if you can get this one figured out.
Thank you, man.
Number 95, ladies and gentlemen, Adam Strom here, looking to try to pull off a bit of an upset here, maybe a little bit of a Cinderella story, if you will. Someone that usually you don't see in that top half, really fighting out with the boys. Anything happens here on Pete's Race TV, though, you can never be too sure, because even I don't even know what the heck's going to happen sometimes. And speaking of us here, also, if you haven't already, be sure to like and follow us up here on Facebook. Head over to YouTube and subscribe there so you never miss a beat, you never miss a show. We do have live exclusive showings there coming up in the near future on our YouTube, and this week is going to be a very, very crazy week when it comes to broadcasting. We got multiple races coming up, including Champion Power Equipment Cup Series tomorrow night. So stay tuned with us here as we bring back to the green flag. We're off and running, and with Meyer getting a good start as usual here. You know, everyone said don't run the bottom off the start. Well, what are they doing? They're going to the bottom. Well, seemed like it, for the most part, everyone came out clean and unscathed there. Problems down there, though, for Joshua Caudill is at 23 and does not quite escape that runoff he was looking for. Battling in a little bit here, a little rough and bumping, tumbling, fumbling there with the number 2, West of Fulbork, Kilgore, and the 22 of Steve Clegg. Clegg got a little knocker back there as Tyler Meeks comes for a dead stop here off of turn 4. He is stopped right in his tracks. Caution is out. And as usual, that will bring out the PTM Instant Replay. Here is a look at this one. The back to the 80s, number 35, Chevrolet Silverado. Looked like he may have just overdrove it a little off of turn 4. He did. Almost catches the 4 of the Marrar James Harris, and unfortunately can't save it. It was just too far back away and just couldn't get it to really grip on the track. Track was not giving him a break there. What a tough break. Flat number 35 here. Meeks obviously knows what it takes to win out here. He knows that he's got a lot of work really to bring out and the best of him and his crew, but this was not the situation he wanted to see. Take it down now and have ourselves a little listen in with the Freedom Mullet Racing gear as the team brings in the big troublemaker of them all, the only man's mullet man. This is the number 34, Robert Lawrence. And Lawrence, great to have you back on board, but really earlier on you were hustling and bustling and fighting it out with a lot of these guys, and then next thing you know, a couple cautions ago, that truck got a little too loose and off the end. What happened there?
I guess I came down a little bit on Garth, and it just ended up putting us together and spinning off his nose, and it is what it is. No hard feelings or anything. It just unfortunate on my end, my mistake, and so I'll just have to work my way through, get back all the way back up there. I know I have the skill to be up there and win this thing. I just gotta charge through the field to get to it.
Well, we know a lot of times, obviously, here on Pete's Race TV, those racing deals can be a bit of a hassle, a bit of a troublesome shoot to kind of work around here. Obviously, with the way you've been hoping for and really kind of keep playing into advantage here. Really, I'll ask you this. I mean, how tough is it to get a victory, much less even keep these trucks on playing zone for a track like here at Auto Club?
This track is actually really tough to pass on. I mean, as you guys have seen, I mean, there's a lot of passes, but it's usually well. I mean, you have to have a decent run to get them, but it's tricky. It's gonna end up being who can make their tires last the longest here this last little bit, because everyone should make it on fuel now. No one should have to pit unless we get a freak caution, but we've been in a string of cautions, so we never know.
Yeah, certainly there. But nevertheless, Spear Mullet Man, you have plenty of time to be had, and still a chance or two here left in you. So we'll see what happens here.
Yep, thank you.
For Freedom Mullet Racing, ladies and gentlemen, the Mullet Man, Robert Lawrence. I believe we're going to get him double file back up here on the restart zone. Meyer will opt to go to the inside. That is the lane he decides and chooses. Yeah, I'm kind of shocked as well that he decided to go towards that bottom lane there and that guy on the bottom end. I would not have thought that he would have chose to do that, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, that's what he's thinking. That's where he wants to go. That's the route he will take. He knows his way. He knows his craft. And frankly, I'm not gonna try and tell him otherwise. No way there. Coming around off of the back straightaway now. We'll have 23 laps remaining here on Pete Race TV, folks. And right now, the Marauder, Triple Tray, Kingdom Play Whitehead are all kind of in a bit of a rough spot here because they're going to have to find a way to knock down the old Sim Performance crew because these guys are not giving an inch whatsoever to any driver out here. They only want to take each other down, and around town they can go. All right, back around on the front straightaway here, back to the green flag, and we're off and running once more. Well, you can just feel all that power, all that momentum they carry through these runs and through these momentum boosts here. Absolutely insanity, to say the least, just how they are able to hold these things online and how they're able to even remotely even think about keeping these things under control and really staying out of trouble in general. Meyer with the advantage here through the first set of corners. Janik watching very carefully. He knows what he saw Meeks do earlier on, was watching himself not get in that same spot. Dan the man Starner here right now in the number 14, keeping his distance and firing up. They're trying to hang in there with Meyer while the Whitehead and Harris keep their distance, keep themselves in play. Dan the Man Starner here, maybe looking for himself a chance at a little redemption, a little bit of a hassle or two against some of the best guys in the field. Meanwhile, the Wynn boys, Robert Wynn Jr. and Sr., well, let's just say they have somehow found themselves into the near top 10 presence. They started way back in the field, and right now they are hanging in with these guys, and they might just be the dark horses here that could really take everyone down a few notches and take them off the ledge here. Hard to truly say. Anything can happen around these parts. Coming down the edges here right now. Pack's starting to really form. Pack's starting to get a little bit closer into the run. Obviously, you heard them talk about earlier as well of how much you needed that speed and that boost to kind of get a jump on these guys and get a move on them. And that's kind of how you have to do the pass around here. And you can see a big pass coming up here with a 3 wide salute mixed in. George Young putting it right below Dakota Wilson. As 53 of Kristen Wilcox trying to stay out of trouble here. Wilcox trying to evade anything he doesn't want to be in. Meanwhile, everyone else looking for some opportunities to hit it big and see if this one can watch him spin. Just don't spin the tires is the only thing here. You just got to keep yourself in cool and keep them in check. 82 of Brock Whitehead. Kind of hammering off a little bit, pushing it way up through the field as we move our cameras back up to the track zone. Richard Fornshell right with now the Marauder James Harris. Coming down through the end right now. You can see Fornshell looking for some openings, looking for a chance to steal this one from the Marauder. Guys going straight to the bottom lane now. A lot of them are going up top early on. Now they seem to be kind of stretching towards that bottom lane because they know that's kind of the lane that everyone's trying to go for to back them off and back them into the field. Guys like Sheldon Pearson is the number 8 right now. The PM and Sons machine trying to hit up to the top gun of the 53 of Wilcox. And if I didn't mention it already, this is probably, in my opinion, one of the bumpiest tracks on the circuit we run these days because like Atlanta Motor Speedway, this bumpy surface is literally hard to master, hard to control, and it can be an absolute hassle if you're not careful. I've raced on it before, I've fought on it before, I've never won here, but I can say getting a win here, really being able to knock down the best guys in the speed, in the sport, and in the league sense of the spectrum, that is a win in its own right and certainly makes up the differences. Climbing through the ranks here now. Drivers looking to keep in their distance, keep on their toes. Look out for Brockhead. Here comes Brockhead on the inside. It's a Chevy versus Ford scenario, as it will be Caleb Forsythe having to go up against Brock Whitehead. The Pac-Man 82 versus that MPR design Waffle House Tequila Spitz Rain Colt 45 number 76. Forsythe trying to hold him down on the outside, though, not wanting to let him by. Here comes that 434 of the Mullen Man as well, seeking some positions in while he's at it. Saw a 3 wide salute opportunity to strike, and he did indeed, but He was not able to convert the run on the bottom and get the speed to hammer down with it. Everyone now kind of bunched up, kind of flying through the field, and I will not surprised. The guy I'm seeing right up in that 7th place spot, remember the last time he was in this area, he actually had a very good chance at winning it out here with the circuit and with the speeds he carries. The MTV 29, the Man Beast, Willie Mann Jr. 18 spots, the hard charger of the night as he's trying to find some openings. We see a lot of movement back there as well. Guys all over the place here just trying to hold this thing in check. They're trying to give everything they got while then some, also trying to stay into a bit of a runoff or two. But again, the thing is the more you keep fighting, the more you keep battling with one another, eventually you're going to put offenders with somebody, and somebody's going to have to either deal with a possible tire going down, or worse, literally a truck going for a ride here. 3 wide salute yet again to the front straightaway. Wilson, Taylor, and Lawrence all in that mix and in that brink. Speaking of the brink, here comes Tyler Meeks. Line him off right on the inside zone, outside top of him. Jonathan the Diamondback. Donovan trying to put the MS State Key Sports 39 into the fight, into the playing field. You can hear that motor and that revved up power these trucks have at their disposal. They've got a lot of runoff and a lot of momentum to carry through, and they know that all too well here. Down to the final 12 laps, and I'm just impressed here with how pretty much clean and unalterated horsepower this has been tonight. Really, the guys up front may want to start thinking about making some moves, though, because this is where you really get put into a bit of a troublesome shootout spot. You either get 2 options, sink or swim. Which one do you choose? Right now, I do not want to go anywhere near that Pacific Ocean there on the other end of the Gulf Coast here. Nathan Meyer is currently the race leader, but for how long can he hold on? Because his teammate, as Andy Van Craig, Jantic danced, and the rivals Dan Stoner, Fornchell, and Harris are marching and pounding their way into his line of sight. Meyer's got a few wins here already here on Pete Race TV. Actually got a couple, just a couple this season as well, back in 2021. Looking to continue his strength leading into 2022. Which one of these drivers is going to be your first winner of this season with the Green Mountain Crew side of things? We've already crowned our first winner on the dirt side of things at Lanier National Speedway last night as the Infield Tractor Tire Super Series came to the show and came to the track. What a race that was, and if you missed any of that action, go check it out. Jason Crow putting up an amazing performance to win it out with that team and that crew. Fornchell looks like he might have found a way to crack the code and bust some ghosts, because he is busting it loose and busting it hard here on the track. 10 laps remain with him and the Marauder James Harris. The Ghostbusters, Silverado Chevrolet, looking to maybe maintain his distance and maintain the field. He is making this work all but well here, and the 4 of Harris is trying not to let him by. He knows if he lets him by here, it'll be too little too late to catch him up then. Robert Wynn Jr., the 89, now piloting it right towards the middle end here as the Mullen Man, Robert Lawrence, the 34, continuing to hammer away, half and off the spot. Speaking of half and off, it's the 32, Daniel Half, starting to get a little bit of a run back in him, maybe looking for any kind of momentum to get with the super clean 32 F-150, putting it right into the playing field. But the Mullen Man trying to also get himself a little bit of a top 10 finale here. Half trying to hold off, trying to hang in there. The Wynn family has been literally the shock of the surprise tonight for me, because they literally worked from back of the outhouse and got it up into the White House area. Hard charging, hard running, hard momentum to say the least here. Certainly worth the price of admission, the price to be had, point taken. But they are currently still dealing with that little rascal and Tyler Meeks as he's currently continuously trying to make up for that little toe tap and spin he got stuck into earlier on. A little bit of a little swing shot maneuver off here, a little bit off pace and off center. Coming down around here, Mr. Gibbons now looking to give something more than we realize here. The Transformers 20 is putting some pounding, putting some pedal straight down to the metal here. He is looking to keep his distance, keep his chance here. Gibbons trying to hold the outside line, trying to keep himself in play. You can see Lawrence though right in the middle of it, right in the fight. Now it's Lawrence's turn to go straight to the bottom and laying it to the top. The crossover is complete. He gets a run off and now takes over position. Back to the pack here. Dan the Man Starner looking to maybe hang in there a little bit longer. The Blue Springs 14 has done a great job so far tonight, but now he's had enough of waiting. He's done being patient. Look at him swinging straight to the inside. Chanzik knows the Caddyshack 40 might be a little bit in trouble even with that draft of Nathan Meyer. Starner is making him work for it tonight. And caution coming out maybe at the worst time ever here. Not sure where that came from or what happened, but we can say Jason Taylor was involved in it as well as Russ the Fullbore Kilgore. Now this is a green-white checkered scenario coming up. I don't even know what the heck to say other than this one was crazy and it was just getting extremely good here. Here's what happened. Take a look here. You can see George Young just driving it hard in. I don't even know if he realized where he was at. And Taylor just kind of got toe tapped in there. Even Robert Wynn actually was wrecked around there. Not sure what happened to that number 16. We'll take a look at it because he was actually wrecked out first. That's where the first wreck came from. And it looks like Givens. Whoa! I've heard of bump and runs, but I don't think I've heard of 2 mile long bump and run. It's usually a reason for that. That's 16 though. Metallica certainly got treated to being the master of puppets in a different kind of form, unfortunately. What a tough break there for Robert when he was doing such a great job, really hammering it down, keeping everything he got in play, and having a good chance of taking this one home, and unfortunately did not go according to plan. So a green, white, checkered is in order. And we're going to have a lot of guys going to pit road. We'll keep an eye on this one, folks. Coming out of pit road, Troy Whitehead, Nathan Meyer, Danzig, Fornchell, and Harris will lead this one off. This is an interesting situation. Now let's look at this. I want to take a very close look at this. How long were they in the pit stop lane? Well, judging by time-wise, they say it was about a 14-second distance in every time they were in pit road. I will say they probably were only getting 2 sets of tires, one on the right, and they were all on the right side. I will say maybe a little bit of last-minute damage control and fix-up was probably the difference between those two. So this could be really anybody's guess on who's going to win this one out, walk this one away. We're going to get this one double filed up. This time by indeed, my friends. We're going to see ourselves a finish. Somebody is going to be the race winner at Auto Club Speedway here tonight, but which one will it be? Oh, you can feel the intensity. You can cut it with a knife here on Pizza Racing TV. It is getting hot. It's getting crazy here, and it is going to be a wild, mad dash finish. Whitehead knows if he does not get that bottom lane to stick, Meyer will grab it and take it from him. Janzik and Fornshell know they have another chance and a possible opportunity to steal this one away. It's either me. Give credit where credit's due to the man. He literally had a fight from the outhouse and get back into the White House so quickly here. This could be his ultimate opportunity to strike it big when everyone least expects it. Starner was extremely fast and close cornered on those last bit of laps. This might be another opportunity for him to strike. The Man Beast and Wilcox were much of the same as Steve Clegg. You never can count out that Wonder Bread 22. He's always got something under his sleeve and maybe something wrapped up that we don't know of. This time by race fans, we've got ourselves a green-white checker coming our way, and this could get interesting. A lot of things at stake here. Playoff opportunity, chance at a season championship, and really bragging rights as well as major team implications. This one settles the score. This one settles it all. Off of corner number 4, back to the green flag, and Whitehead will have the gun. Whitehead goes straight up top side, gonna try to bring it down quickly. He knows if he didn't do that, Janzik was gonna get a run off on him, and there Meyer also a little bit loose off the edge there. Janzik got the bump and run off of turn 2, and Whitehead gets sent back into the rounds. He goes. Whitehead's gonna be put down a little bit. Meeks going harder to the throttle now, making some work on Janzik. Fortshell literally, where did Fortshell come from? Where did Fortshell come from? The 90 puts the Ghostbusters machine up into the race lead. The yellow flag though flies at the last minute though. Fortshell's not going to be able to race it out. Jacob Givens and John Thacker involved in this one here. Unfortunately, the 56 and 20 colliding in for a collision course. We'll have one last green-white checker to wrap this one up, but here's what happened. Givens right here with 48 of George Young. And maybe a little deja vu we saw earlier there. But no, not the case here. Dakota Wilson getting tagged in. Unfortunately, Givens lost control and ends up smack dab in the middle there with Thacker. Givens kind of crashed out. Nothing he can do about that. And oh boy. My oh my, folks. This just gets crazier and crazier by the minute. Now, before we go any further, I want to look at something real quick. Where did Fornshell come from? Where did he come from in that run? Alright, he started back in the 4th slot. Let's take a look at this, because we were watching this from multiple angles. We did not see where Fornshell was getting real hot under the collar here. I was not paying attention to him. Alright, there he is. He's got a good run here coming off the back straightaway. Here's the run down the inside. Watch Meyer. He's trying to block him. Fornshell's got a major move coming up here, though. Watch him take it to the inside. Beautiful pass. This is a textbook opportunistic move by that Ghostbusters 90 of Fornshell. Absolutely excellent maneuvering and excellent driving coming off that end, which is what gave him that spot to begin with. And now he's got a chance of a lifetime to knock down some more drivers and knock down some guys when they least expect it. Nathan Meyer, Craig Janzik, Tyler Meeks, James Harris, William Mann Jr., Trey Whitehead, and Dan Starner all have an opportunity still to fight it out. But if Whitehead has anything to say, I think he might want to take close attention on those restarts because he got bumped and run earlier. And that's exactly what Janzik may do again here to Fornshell if he's not careful. They have one last green-white checkered opportunity to take this one home. Fornshell knows if he does not get a good jump and he does not stay ahead of the transition between drivers going in and out of movesets, this could be any man's landscape. And I think that man beast, William Mann Jr., might be the one you've got to watch out for. As if the intensity was already taught to begin with. No, 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 my friends. This got even more so. This is what you want to see. This is what you come to see. Sometimes that destination is just as much fun as it is here for the ultimate area of finales. The journey is one thing, but the destination is quite another. On the back straightaway. Field ready to hit him up and ready to fire it down and go for it all tonight. Coming around off of the front straightaway, turn 4, last green-white checkered attempt now being put on display. 2 laps remain. Fornshell did not get the start he was looking for. Meyer now looking to take aim as Jansen gives him a big push and a half air, but watch out because here comes the 4 of Harris and comes the 35 of Meeks. Meyer with a good jump off of turn 2. Runs it down the DuPont 1 machine as the 4 of Harris looks to try to cave him in. Bringing all their momentum into the start and in the end. It's a back race, back end. Everyone giving it all they've got. Which one will break first, though? Myers got the runoff and got the race lead locked up, but Fornshell now with a last-ditch effort, a moment of truth, a moment of weakness. Caution's out, though. It's a white flag. It's over. This is over. Daniel Half and Robert Wynn Jr. collide again off turn 4. This one is over with. And that is not the way we wanted to see it go down, but that's the way it ends up being sometimes. The caution flag flies before they can get to the white flag, and this one is going to Nathan Meyer. Meyer, somehow, some way, is going to be able to hold off the charge of Fornshell and his battle with Janzik to the line and to the end. And we've talked about it before where it seems like the start there's a lot of cautions, but then you get that later half and it's a full-on run to the end. And it appears we found ourselves in a little bit of a genjutsu because we are found ourselves in the complete opposite of that. 7th caution of the night, but the checkered flag will fly and the number 1 of Nathan Meyer will win here on Auto Club Speedway. Meyer sees his victory and takes home the win and another chance at getting one step closer to his ultimate goal and his ultimate dream to become a season champion. The Meyer camp is certainly going to be proud about this one and very happy to have this one under their roster. But what a race here at Fontana, California here at Auto Club Speedway. Race fans, this has been an absolute pleasure and a fight, to say the least, from start to finish. Before we go talk with our drivers, we're going to take a look at our race results here in just a minute. Field trying to get around the track, trying to finish this out. Some more so than others here, as currently we are a little all over the place on really just getting this one finished out. But at the end of the day, it has come to an end and has come to a standstill. Here it is now, ladies and gentlemen, presented by Green Mountain Grills. Your winner tonight, Nathan Meyer. Thanks to that last-ditch caution off of turn 4, helps him seal the deal in victory tonight. Fortune will come second, third to Janzik, fourth to Harris, fifth to Meeks, sixth to Mann Jr., 7 to Dan Starner, 8 to Trey Whitehead, 9 to Steve Clegg, and 10th to Christian Wilcox. That will round out your top 10. We'll take a look at the other finishers here as well. Some heavy hitters in there, of course, like Sheldon Pearson, Brock Whitehead, Robert Lawrence. All of them fought hard and fought well, but just could not keep themselves out of the chaos a little too much or too little. It was just too little too late for them tonight. Well, race fans, it's time to talk with our finishers here. Let's listen in, as the Oval Sim Performance crew is going to have a lot to talk about with this one. Here he is now, though, the 40 of Craig, does any fam Janzik, taking himself home and gets himself a top 3 finish. And Janzik, earlier on, you were fighting hard there with that Caddyshack 40, but unfortunately, it looked like Meyer just had a little bit better of a run than you did tonight.
Yeah, man, it was. The competitor in me wants to really say that we're equal, and we really truly were working together there all the way up until that last gasp caution, before the green white checkered stuff, and then even there on that restart. I mean, that restart was on the money, and we did everything right. Really, the whole race, Nathan and I both did, and man, third doesn't really say what we had the pace and capability of as a number 40 truck with Caddyshack on the board. Man, it's my favorite movie in the world. I'm so happy that we had an 80s night, and we fought hard. We had really good battles. It was impossible to pass unless you really knew what you were going to do and you had the correct momentum to be able to materialize it with. So a frustrating night for a lot of people here, but I can't be happier with first, third, fifth, 3 cars in the top 5. We probably should have been first, second, third if we had the ability to finish the race. But hey, man, I'm exasperated and I am happy as hell.
Well, certainly wouldn't have guessed any other way, considering how you usually are with these commentaries and these with these little chats you and I have on the show. So, Janzik, you're walking away here third tonight here at Fontana. Is there anybody you want to thank for that?
Yeah, I got to thank Elite Performance Industries with Team Conti. Nick Ottinger's been such a huge help to me in the past couple of weeks, and it's really showing in all of my racing and what I can carry over to my team as well. Thanks to the Freeburn Hot Wings morning show. Listen to them Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern at freeburnhotwings.com. Champion Power Equipment, Green Mountain Grills, Blaster, Avalanche AC, PTM Racing TV, and my beautiful girlfriend Carly. Happy 5 years tomorrow. It's going to be an amazing day.
Happy 5 years as well to you guys, and congratulations, bud. Another solid race here, and of course, once again, one step closer to the championship hunt.
Yeah, buddy. Take care. Talk to you tomorrow.
Talk to you tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. This is Andy Fan Craig Janzik, the number 40 scheme tonight. Popping away with another big battle there between him and his crew. Let's take it down now and talk in with Mr. Richard Fornshell, because I feel like he's got a lot of stuff really to talk about here. We'll see what he thought about this one. He now joins me here from our friends over at Freedom Mullet Racing. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome in the Mullet Man, not Richard Fornshell and the number 90 machine. I'm sorry, I literally just about called you the Mullet Man, Robert Lawrence there, Fornshell.
Oh, I was a bit confused. I haven't had long hair in over a decade.
For sure there. I know it's been quite a while since we really talked to you and really heard from you, but this could have been a different story, because really that last set, you had the run on Meyer and you had the run on Janzik, and you could have actually took this one home, but like we just saw a minute ago, Meyer got the break this time because of that last minute caution. What was going through your mind there when things got a little hectic?
So we had that first restart, and we had Trey up there in first on, I think he took 2. And that's why he jumped up ahead of all of us. And then he got a poor start. So I was able to get around, all three of them. And then I was coming to the line and not, like 300 feet in front, the yellow came out. And it's like, ah, man. So, and then I mean, I should have stuck to the bottom on the restart there. I don't know why I took the high line, but either way, I mean, it's still a good run for me. Would have been nicer if I could have pulled my teammate up there too. He's the one really needing the points right now.
For sure there. I know obviously I really want to try to make some big names, some big changes here, but you obviously make yourself look pretty good out here tonight with this performance in this showcase. So I have to ask you, my friend, as you're walking away here with a top 3 finish and coming away second of all things, who do you want to thank you for this one?
I just want to thank Green Mountain Girls for sponsoring us, them and Champion for our Cup League. They've been sponsoring this for a couple years now, and they foot the bill so we can come out here and put on the show for everybody. So them, and then especially the admins, as usual, trying to keep us sane and keep us from completely going at each other's throats.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, we do appreciate coming on board here tonight, Fornshell. Congratulations, man, and it's great to see you finally back here in this top half.
Thanks, bud. Take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, here on the 90, this is Richard Fornshell presenting for Freedom Mullet Racing here tonight. Well, now, race fans, it's been a while and it's been a time, but at last, we have gone through this one, and that only means one thing. Let's talk to the race winner. He joins me in victory lane now. It is Nathan Meyer in that one, and Meyer, as you had a little bit of a celebration. I know this one's a little bittersweet because you usually were one to race it out from the start to the end, but that last caution really helped kind of give you that win here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take a win either way. I don't care how it ends. But yeah, Craig probably would have got around me. You get that run on the backstretch, you just dived it inside. It's pretty much over at that point. But yeah, we brought it home.
You brought it home, and you really brought out the best in your performance and really in yourself. And obviously, I know this was not an easy win by any means. You still had to earn it because Fornshell got you on that on the second to last caution there before that one came out to help you out. But on the last restart, you managed to get ahead of him and really make him work for it to the end.
Yeah, I was surprised he chose the outside there on the last one. If he chose the inside, I think the race would have been his. But I had Craig behind me. He pushed me to the front, and lucky break with the caution.
It was a lucky break indeed, and it ends up giving yourself a victory and a half. So I have to ask you, as you walk away with the win and the victory here at Auto Club, is there anybody you want to thank for this one?
Yeah, thanks Green Mountain Grills for always putting this on. James and Eli doing the race control stuff. Always appreciate it. Blackstone, of course. And big team win today. We all helped each other.
It certainly did indeed, and a big victory for the crew and your team. So congratulations, Meyer. It's great to see you really put the reins back in play and put this one back in victory lane.
Thanks, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nathan Meyer here, and then number 1, your race winner at Auto Club Speedway, and that will about wrap it up here tonight for your showcase here of the Green Mountain Girls Fast and Fun Truck Series. We appreciate y'all tuning on in with us tonight. Be sure to stay tuned. This week is just getting started. We've got more action coming tomorrow night. It's usually Fast and Fun Cup Series, but do I have to trade that cup in for Xfinity? Because we're running Xfinity at Talladega Super Speedway. A playoffs championship berth and hope is on the line. But nevertheless, from all of us here at Peach Race TV, we thank you for tuning in. See you tomorrow at Talladega.